How's it going, guys, and welcome back to BL3's Forgotten, the series where I take a look at underused and not often talked about PC gear to determine whether or not they deserve to be remembered within the modern meta of the game or should be left behind and forgotten. And today we're taking a look at the Moonfire. If you would like to farm a Moonfire for yourself, you're going to have to be able to take on and complete the Maliwan Takedown, as unfortunately the Moonfire jumps from Wotan, so there is no quick and easy farm for this. You do have to take on the Maliwan Takedown every single time you want to try to farm it. However, between the two halves of Wotan, his brain, and the 3 legs that you can destroy, that is 6 potential drop locations, each of which has the potential of dropping multiple versions of the Moonfire. The Moonfire is a legendary Torgue pistol, however it is really only Torgue in its looks, as it does not deal splash damage. Instead, the Moonfire is a very high damage single shot hand cannon type pistol with increased crit damage, and on top of that, every 3rd shot fired does 200% bonus amp damage. The Moonfire is able to roll in any of the elements and has had 3 buffs over the years, initially seeing an increase to its weapon damage and crit damage bonus, then getting a 25% fire rate increase, and then finally another 23.6% weapon damage increase. Now, before I go into my thoughts, I feel like I'm very required to mention that I am incredibly biased and a fucking sucker for literally anything that is just hand cannon-esque. So just keep that in mind when I say that I fucking love this gun. Holy shit. This is literally the best hand cannon that Gearbox has ever created since Borderlands 1. Which, if you want to have a really good time with some really powerful and just hard-hitting feeling revolvers, that's the game to go to. That's not what we're talking about right now. Right now, we are talking about the fucking Moonfire, and the Moonfire is what the Unforgiven always should have been. Granted, in Borderlands 3, the Unforgiven is actually pretty good, unlike it was in 2, but that's for another video. Because even with the Unforgiven feeling good, the Moonfire feels so much fucking better. Like, this has to just be the single most satisfying gun to hit a critical hit with. There's just literally no other competition for it. You hit a crit, and the enemy goes boom, and it's just... it feels so good. It's chunky, it's thunky, no other person, place, or thing has ever made my loins feel the way that the Moonfire does. Now, just putting my bias and intense sexual feelings towards this gun aside for a second, overall, on its own, this is not a great gun. It's not just a sort of plug and go, like you can't just slap it on a character and run with it. It'll function, and it'll function okay, but you are going to feel like it's lacking. For example, I know that this thing can do some crazy shit on Amara, however, I do not have a proper sort of Jacobs or like crit Amara setup right now, and using just my general Tyzet bind build, it'll work, but it definitely felt a lot weaker than it did on my characters that are more built to use it. I also initially hated it on my flak build that I first tried it on, because that build is more focused on ASE spams and turning flak into a literal turret, pretty much. However, I then tried it on another build that I have, which is a bit of a little teaser for my next video, but you know, it worked way better on this build, because this build is more suited to actually doing more damage with a single shot instead of just spamming out bullets and doing a shit ton of damage really fast. But who I was surprised the most about was how fucking much fun I had with this on Mo's. I straight up just forgot I was recording, and I have way more footage on Mo's than I'm going to end up using, because it was just such a pleasant surprise at how strong it felt on Mo's, the character that's kind of known for just DPS and spamming out bullets. I feel like there's actually a sleeper crit build within her. And when this video goes live, I'm also going to be live over on my Twitch, link in the description. I'm going to try to figure out a fucking crit build for Mo's, and I'm going to use the Moonfire. But I mean, yeah, in short, it's kind of just the Moonfire is very average and very, like, okay at best if you just kind of slap it on a build and go. But if you put just a little bit of time into maximizing your build for use of crit damage and just single shot damage, the Moonfire is the premier and the best hand cannon that has ever existed in the Borderlands series. And that does include Borderlands 1 revolvers for me. This is the best a revolver has felt since that game, and it has surpassed that game. If you are a fan of heavy-hitting hand cannon type pistols like I am, you need to get this. You need to get this, and you need to do a build around it, and you need to just go have fun. And for those of you that aren't a fan, go do it as well, because this will convert you. This will make you understand the love I hold for big, thick, revolvers. But that's gonna about do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe. Like I said earlier, go follow my Twitch. Go check it out. As this video goes live, I will be live over there doing some testing for some builds. And for those that don't go say hi over there, that's okay, because I will see you all in the next one.